Thank you so much for coming here to our conference here today about whales, the eyes of humanity. It's great to see so many of you because I know it's the end of the Ocean Week and many has maybe done a lot of events, so it's great that you can come here and join us in the last minute. Thank you to the York Club as well for hosting it, and thank you so much to Monaco Ocean Week and the Conceptual Foundation for really making this year a true event. It has been great, so many people, more and more coming. I'm just in awe when I see that they have existed so long. I mean, 50 million years ago. 50 million years ago. So in Zulu, they call the dolphins the messenger and the whales the recorder. Recorder of, they've seen it all. They've seen it all, just imagine. All the wars with something going on. Everything what have been there in the last 50 million years. And they have even been a land animal before, Pakicetus, way before, 50 million years ago, and developed into a marine mammal. There are about 86 species of whales and dolphins and turtles. And the whales are divided into two categories. So you have the toothed ones, which of course have teeth, up to 200 of them. They have one single blowhole. They are smaller than the baleen whales. They live in pods, and they have a very well developed echolocation systems. So we can come back to all that if you like later. If you have questions, we take them later. Then the baleen whales, well, they are bigger. They have two blowholes, and also they have baleen, of course, and this baleen they use to filter. So they basically open their mouths, swallow everything, and use their tongue to spit all the water out again. They have sounds, they use sounds to communicate and to navigate. So not echolocation, there's no teeth yet. And of course they eat tons of krill. Yeah. So the phytoplankton away, the whole thing falls down. If we take the whale away, the same thing. And if this ecosystem breaks down, then there is no life on Earth, and then we will die. So this is what is worth also now. In 2019 was the first time, as far as I know, that there has been set a value, money value, on a whale. For me, I didn't like this to begin with, because I think, well, how can you put a value on it? And it was calculated, and this, what is it? But actually what International Monetary Fund have done is that they have said how much worth is a whale based on whale watching. You know, because whale watching is a huge industry everywhere in the world. So how much is it based on that? And also for each whale, we're taking so much carbon dioxide away with them. So those two parameters, they have calculated into $2 million per whale. Okay? So actually they're saying to us, marine conservation, we're doing you guys a favor, because now we have put a dollar sign on it, and that in that way, you know, people would maybe protect it more. So, well, let's hope so when there's a price.
Zeiner. I'm German-Brazilian. I live in Germany right now, but I was born in Brazil, and I have worked pretty much my life with marine mammals, and I was, when Berit, so when Berit invited me to talk about vibrations and consciousness, I was very honored, because this is my first time in the Monaco Ocean Week. I've been in Monaco to present my thesis many years ago, but now I come with someone that has experience, and as someone who has lived in different countries and worked with marine mammals in different countries. So, funny thing is that, well, first I want to ask you, how many of you have seen a marine mammal live, not in zoos? Not in zoos. Wow, great, wonderful. So you know exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about vibrations. And 10 years ago, the Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness accepted that humans are not the only conscious beings on Earth. 10 years ago.
And thank you so much, Berit, for inviting me. So I will speak a little about the main threats that we see against these poor and beautiful creatures. So 15 million years ago, when magnificent whales started roaming the oceans were quiet. I wasn't there myself, but the oceans were quiet, peaceful, clean, serene places. Fast forward to today, and it's changed a lot. So there's climate change, which we all hear about every day. Ocean acidification, which destroys many of their food sources. Vessel strikes, noise pollution, oil spills, plastic, overfishing, and of course, whaling and captivity. We mistakenly ingest huge amounts of plastic, up to 95 pounds of plastic every day, and it fills up their stomach without feeding them. And so there are many thousands of marine animals, seabirds, whales, fish, and turtles, who all die of starvation in an ocean full of plastic and ever more devoid of marine life, because even though their tummies are full, there is no nutrition there, it's just junk. Another very sad threat to the whales, especially to the really big ones, are the vessel strikes, because huge tankers have a massive momentum, and even if the captain looks and sees a whale maybe a mile or two ahead, if it's a really, really big whale, they move very slowly, while the vessel has so much momentum, if the captain changes course, by the time it affects where he's going, he's already ploughed into the animal and killed it. And obviously oil spills are devastating for all marine life, particularly for whales, of which I know a story of a pod of orcas in the North Sea where there's lots of oil exploration that have not managed to raise a viable calf in over 20 years because whales store toxins in their fat, and they make their beautiful rich milk for the baby calf from their fat. And so if the fat is too toxic, the milk that the baby gets to drink is so polluted that the baby dies. So it's very sad. And also, dolphins are surface swimmers. They swim a lot on the surface, so they will be inhaling all these oil fumes. And often the fumes are so toxic that their lungs get damaged to the extent that the dolphins can no longer breathe and they die.
Thank you for having me here today. I guess the biggest message that I'm bringing and why it is so important for me to have this role as an ambassador with the Animal Fund and to do what we can is that all of us, in my opinion, are having the privilege of being caretakers and guests on this planet. It's not ours to destroy, it's certainly in our role to look after it and to treasure it, to appreciate it, and to do what we can to ensure that future generations can share in the beauty of it in the same way that we've been able to. And I guess as a runner, and that's where Berit's talking about the breathing, it is crucially important to understand the importance of oxygen on this planet and the roles that nature plays in giving us the oxygen that we need to survive and that future generations will continue to need. And we share it with so many people and so many other beings who collaborate with us and give the earth what it needs to carry on. So as Berit said, I think the biggest and most important takeaway from today is that we all can do little things that combined with everybody doing that will make a huge, huge difference to the future. So on its own, it might look like something very small that will make no difference whatsoever, but if we all start working together and making those small changes, hopefully we can see many, many generations in the future continue to benefit from this amazing planet.
You want to join us. So, on behalf of us all, I thank you so much for joining us here, and I wish you a good evening. And this is just a beautiful little one to finish off with. Thank you so much. Thank you.